Okay. I've returned. Let's go back ahead and check the raiders really quick. Well, it's almost time for it anyways, so we got... Let's see. Mostly archers and rogues over here with Leon. The flying rogue squadron. We got tanks over here in front. Looks like it's going... Looks like the planning is so far so good. I wouldn't want to start early yet, though. Because anybody else who could place one more unit or two could definitely help us. I am very worried about the bottom part of the map. Wait, did anyone put a paladin down here? Oh, Curry put down a paladin, okay. Alright, in that case. Did anyone put down a healer? That's a very good question. Wait, hold on. Oh, I don't have a... Frick. I'll just put down a buster. Yeah, 24 put down one healer, it looks like, and there's a Brush for Hire put down a level 20 monk. So we technically have more than one healer at this point. So the main healer is back here, and the level 20 monk is up here. So I think we should be okay. Quote unquote should. Alright, last 30 seconds or so. Last 30-ish seconds or so. Leon might be able to make it, but also at the same time, the lava bugs, the units here are very dangerous. So I think I'll just debug these for Leon. These should be okay for him to bypass. Hey, Shy Guy, thank you for adding in the extra paladin, I believe. Is it an extra paladin? Yeah, that's an extra paladin, because we have the monk over here. Alright. 28 units. Perfect. I'll go ahead and debuff those guys over there. Let me go ahead and pause the music real quick, so that way we can get this started, and let's see how we do. Alright. Let's see how we do here. Okay, so far so good. Whew. Not bad, actually. That was pretty good. That was definitely pretty good. Gee whiz, that definitely was a really good round. Thank you for the ranged archery suggestion, Kiba. Can't believe we made it through that. So Leon has landed the most kills at 13 kills, with Brush for Hire landing 7 kills and the most assists at 8 assists. And then Because I was like low-key worried for a second there. Good thing we planned pretty well. Matthew landed with 4 kills and 4 assists. Nakeef 4 landed with 2 kills and 6 assists. Brand Cutler landed 7 kills. Keepa landed 5 kills. I've landed 3 kills. 24 landed 1 kill and 3 assists. And Shy Guy landed 2. For this gold, we shall actually go ahead and spin the Wheel of Destiny. Let's go ahead and put some names up on here. Alright, here we go, folks. It's time to spin the wheel. Who shall receive the gold prize? Let's find out. And what do you know? The wheel lands on Maffy. Perfect. And now I can redeem more scrolls. Ooh, Centurion, perfect. Now my Centurion can get to level 10. All I need is 3 more 3 more Buster scrolls, and boom, we can be level 10 on the Buster too. Okay, let's see. Crew quarters is next. Hit the 2-hour mark. Not bad, not bad. Okay, this is interesting. I want to get control of the console, so I want to go with my... I'll go with my Rogue this time. When do I want to place a Centurion? I'll probably place a Centurion down, possibly either on this map or the Desecrated Ground. Wait, the Desecrated Ground might put a mage on, actually. Can you do some battle placements? I need some, sure. I think a lot of people have been getting that mission lately. Alright, so in that case... let's do a basic one here. So... yeah, that's fine. Probably need some armored over here. There's like a lot of units on this side. More units on this side than ever. This side looks okay. These cyber orcs are just level. I think if anything, we could probably reinforce this side with more assassins. And then anything else is anybody else's game, honestly. Just don't forget, if there's a paladin, place down a healer. Thank you for the epic tank, Kiba. Alright, everybody else's map has been looking okay for the night, so I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, let's get back to the courtroom.
Oh, so we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. You've almost got this case won now, Nick.
I wish I could agree.
Huh?
When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, He said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth.
You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying?
I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need.
Hey, pal.
Yo, Detective Gumshoe! And yo, Shy Guy, welcome, welcome. Thank you for following, by the way.
What are you so jumpy about, Detective?
As always, we give every follower here in the Kinoko crib on the channel a warm
welcome.
Is this happening again? No, has the new follower broke the thingy? I'm a fan. I don't mind Shy Guys though. Shy Guys are welcome in the Nintendo universe, even the Nintendo universe. Oh my. Oh, yo, his emotes are that. Are they also a fellow stream raider? That might be. Operation buffering going on? Word. I think the presence of the detective broke the channel. It also, but sometimes that can happen for some reason. Well, it's not, my internet going haywire is, the reception going haywire is not anybody's fault. It's literally just the service. Next time I'm gonna try to reconnect to see if I will, with an automatic server to see if that helps, but I don't really think that will help. Somebody decided to look under Shy Guy's mask and break the, yep. Whatever you, I don't really think you should look under Shy Guy's mask. You never know what's under that mask. It could be dangerous. Just like if you want to look under a Mimikyu in Pokemon. Okay, I think we're back.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, welcome, Drac. How are you doing this evening?
What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end.
Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black. Black lit little top, Miss Top Knot.
It's not a top knot.
Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright?
I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda got wound up. Ugh.
No kidding.
You're gonna have something you need me to do, pal, anything.
Well,
Hey, I'm gonna take a jog back to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour.
an hour? The trial will have reconvened by then.
But Nick, you still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right?
True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour?
You bet.
In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this?
Oh, hey. That's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right?
Yeah, I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints belonged to.
Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me, too. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back.
This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. Yeah, but it's not moving, like, it's not up to speed right now. I'm currently, like, trying to read through the dialogue, but you guys might get, like, a huge, like, a 3 to 5 minute delay because of my reception. Which is not something I can fix. Because internet service providers are very stubborn about their service. And And all we could do is just work through it. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess.
It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys.
January 8th, 1:56 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tiger?
Ah, thank you for the Epic Nightmare Paladin. I don't think I got word of who put that down, but thank you regardless. Oh, Matthew did. What kind of games do you like to play, Shy Guy, besides Stream Raiders, since I just saw you on Stream Raiders?
I even tamed it for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem.
Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio, but come on.
He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Very well, please show Mr. Tiger to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there's room for me down there, too.
Would you mind? What you say to me? Nothing, I didn't say nothing, not honest.
I could have guessed that Fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge.
I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky?
No, of course not. It was the Your Honor?
Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. What on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal.
That's it. We're doomed.
Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What'd you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless stare of the law. And I'm the one that holds you in.
Too cool.
Time get the better of you, Nick.
Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no sticking incident, mask boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix, right? You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying?
Well, maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today.
Get a grip, Nick.
Yeah. Team Fortress 2, Gmod. I play a lot of roleplay servers. Interesting. Yeah, but this is supposedly a Japanese bench trial court, and a lot of the characters here would be held in contempt of law, but they, for some reason, translated where they are to California for some reason, but even then, I'm sure California courtrooms would follow proper proceedings. Yeah, the hairstyle will come into play on purpose later and stuff.
What you say? Oh, your base should belong to us. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tired of the business in December last year. Spent all my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. Whales who want to dump every single one of their pennies on some stupid gotcha games. What you kids calling these days? What you all playing? You all playing this game called Epic 7 or Arc Knights or this other stupid thing that you all play on your mobile devices nowadays. It's stupid, I tell you. Them whales coming in to get a loan for these stupid companies for these stupid games.
Anyways.
You just want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. At last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. What is it, police witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that? I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins.
Lowlife? Me?
Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you 50K, and you's gonna borrow the cash from me.
That's one loan contract I refuse to sign.
And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger.
I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute, Chuck-Tomate, that's really not... This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well, I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here.
You's better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business.
Don't he mean business?
If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus.
The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can do it, Nick.
Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? Great. So we can't press everything.
Just think, all you have to do is press him on something irrelevant and bam, 50K.
Get real, Maya. How about you pay back the money then? Your allowance should cover it.
Hey, I'm no idiot, you know.
Well, I'm certainly not the one who thought the 50K was free money. Anyway, I need to work this guy without pressing his testimony too hard.
His testimony's pretty solid as it is.
I admit nothing jumps out at me as a contradiction. I've got to find an opening somewhere, or I need to make one. Okay, so we can probably press him on the last statement. And the second statement. Maybe. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know.
You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is.
Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini?
She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was.
It seems like a rather sketchy schedule.
There he goes again. What the tiger did all in December isn't the issue. What's important is that what he's doing on the day of the murder, so now what? Yeah, here it says December 3rd, the day of the incident. The victim needs to meet with the tiger. Mr. Tiger,
What you want?
if you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
This is a dead end, Trite, and you know it. Remember the rules.
No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately.
I agree.
The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office on that day too?
Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanted to do business with me. I had never seen that young kid before.
I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Caton, if you could please... Mr. Tiger, the court asks you to add that last statement to her testimony.
Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself.
The day you was talking about, I was in the office. I never saw that kid before.
Oh, now this is something we got evidence for. Because it says on this so-called kid's calendar to meet with the tiger. You want to explain that, big guy? You just want to explain that? Objection! Mr. Tiger, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you.
What?
Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger, and the date, December 3rd.
December 3rd. That's the day of the murder.
So, Mr. Tiger, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him.
Not bad. You's actually not bad.
Sorry?
I was just messing with yous to see how good yous were.
Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad.
That's one compliment I could do without, plus he's lying through his teeth.
Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated.
You's calling me a liar. Is that what you's doing?
So you're saying that your claim to have quote-unquote never seen that kid before is the truth?
I said I'm dead serious. You's gotta believe the truth.
And I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tiger. Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court witness?
He never actually met the victim? It's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nail this guy.
I ain't no liar. I never met Glen Elk. There was some lame guy with that name though, wanting to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tender Lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't ever showed. I'd never even been to that Turnabout joint, you's here.
Wait a minute.
I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. And I have a piece of evidence that can disprove one of your statements, Mr. Tiger.
Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you. Right.
Do you think you really didn't meet Glen Elk?
Not likely, because I'm convinced this guy's behind the whole thing.
So you mean that whole testimony he just gave was a lie?
Of course. So we can't afford to give him time to think of ways to plug the leaks in it. I got to nail him while I still can. The pieces are all falling into place perfectly. Okay, so far we didn't have a mistake from him yet. This statement, though. If you say you've never been to the restaurant before, then what the heck are these matches doing in your office? Objection! Mr. Tiger, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches?
Matches? What you talking about?
We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from quote-unquote that restaurant.
What?
If you've never really been to Turnabout before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? And thank you for the epic barbarian, Leon.
You've been stupid my stuff now too, wise guy. What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me.
Order, order. Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Sorry, I'm terribly sorry. Forgive me.
I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at that joint that day. What? Well, listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid.
Well, well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony.
I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elg that day. And he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. So far, so good.
I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out. I went straight back to my office.
I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions.
Heh, no problem. Anytime Troy presses you on something irrelevant, you'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Goodell, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it, old geezer. Yes, sir.
The special express ain't cheap, right? Just so yous know since yous paid.
Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? Nope. It's an anime courtroom.
Well, Nick, what do you think?
He's running out of ways to avoid the truth. I need to press him fast before he has time to think things through. I've got to come right back at him with a contradiction.
Be careful what you press him on though. You'll get penalized, okay?
I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant afternoon. Okay, so that's fine. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. He said that directly afterwards. I figured that the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop's sirens on my way on, went straight back to my office, so I think we could press him on the last statement. I'd like more deets on the last statement, if we don't get charged for pressing him on said last statement.
Hold it!
You went straight back? Did a bout of guilt suddenly hit you for what you did?
What yous trying to say? Trying to tell me yous ain't never been guilty of nothing?
We all have our crosses to bear. We all have to swallow the dark secrets we hide. Like this.
Of course, not exactly the place to talk about dark secrets, is it? What? Something about the police sirens should be, like, relevant. Alright, this is the first time we needed to reset on the Tiger. The first two times, I'll admit, they had me in the first half. I ain't gonna lie, they had me in the first half.
Hold it!
So the meeting wasn't due to take place at Tender Lender at all, then?
The kid was making a fuss about coming to the office. It's always that way when I want to talk about repayments. Even though I got the best punching bag you've ever seen, if there are any issues.
Maybe it's best because of the punching bag that people are scared to come. So that's why he decided to meet at 3 Beyond.
Objection! Huh. You're going over old ground again, Shrite.
Sorry. Come on. Wait a moment. Wait a moment. The police never arrived till later. Wait a moment. Hold on, hold on. He said he heard the cop's sirens on his way out when the kid was slumped over. But... when did the police arrive on the scene? The old man called the police by payphone, which means the police didn't come until after the old man called the police. But can we present the old man's testimony to prove that, which is the thing?
Objection!
Oh my god. What the heck? That's something wrong right there, but... Gee whiz. They literally had me in the first half with this guy. You mean you saw his dead body?
I guess I did, but I only saw him from behind. He was wearing some raggy bit of cloth he called a hat.
And what time was this?
I don't know.
Huh?
You know what minds me up more than anything else in the world? Watches. Round watches. I ain't gonna pollute my paws with some ticking pen pecker.
Out of interest, Mr. Tiger, what winds you up the second most?
Huh? What you think? Square watches.
Is this guy for real?
Look, all I needed to know was that something bad was going down that joint.
Hold it!
So you didn't actually set foot inside the restaurant then?
The Tiger's a busy cat. I don't hang around for no one. I ain't got time to be caught up in no murder investigation.
So, when exactly did you pick up the matches?
There are matches just inside the front door. Our detective friend wound up in troubles with the chef after taking 5 books home.
Poor gumshoe, it's almost enough to make a man cry. Alright, so it was okay to press this statement and this statement. So he said he never set foot inside. He opened the door. Wait a minute. The floor plans, that's it. If he claims he saw one ugly scene, you'd have to step into the foot of the restaurant to see the said ugly scene. So, how the heck could he say that? Okay, my brain gear is working, my brain gear is... Yeah, there's a wall there! When you step inside the restaurant, you see the cashier, you don't see the table from where the incident took place.
Objection!
You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tiger? Okay, so we have the correct... Alright, we got it correctly now. Before we actually continue with this line of logic, I didn't look up anything or whatnot. It just occurred to me. I forgot that we have the map of the restaurant to present as evidence. Perfect. That was perfect. We came right back around from where we failed. All right, we're actually rolling pretty well so far. I honestly find this like pressing him to be definitely going a lot better than the previous witnesses so far. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this battle going on. And how many rogues do we have out here? We have like a lot of oh, we have 2 rogues here. We can actually boost these guys. You guys can hold the fort down over there. We'll boost the rogues over here and everybody else over here. I'll use the restroom in the meantime. Get some more hydration going, and let's make sure we win this. Let's make sure we get this win, get this W. Okay. Matthew landed the most kills and the most assists alongside Kiba, both with 5 assists. Matthew got 12 kills, Kiba got 8 kills, Leon got 9 kills, 3 assists. Brand Cutler got 3 kills and 5 assists. Shy Guy has landed 4 kills, and I've landed 3 kills. You know what, since Shy Guy has just popped on in here, let's go ahead and give this to Shy Guy. Why don't we? Alright, next level we're going to be doing is this one. Slime Follow Stampede. This one I'll probably place a Centurion on. If not the Desecrated Ground, although the Desecrated Ground I might place a different unit. The Frontier Ambush is going to be difficult though, so we got to really prepare for that. Okay, this is going to be very interesting. Alright, y'all know what to do. Got some Orc Slayers at the same time. Hey, thank you for the epic barbarian, Maffy. Most of the time it's usually Keepa who would place the barbarian down. Okay. Now to actually question the tiger some more. So, they basically established that in order for him to see the incident, the crime scene, he would have had to literally step foot into the restaurant because there's a wall blocking the crime scene. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tiger?
No one escapes the tiger's clutches.
Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. Or don't you mean the Phoenix's fire? I think it's time we got something straight.
What's this trait? A new line of irrelevant questioning?
These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tiger. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this.
Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat.
Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head.
Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition.
Oi, that's true.
Now look back at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here.
Oh,
My dude, he's sweating. Lol, the dude is sweating. What you gotta say to that, buddy? What you's gotta say to that? So, from the entrance of Three Beyond, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day, because you did meet with him.
Objection! Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table.
Objection!
But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The quote-unquote victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenn Elg, but a fake.
What?
In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade.
That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this quote-unquote real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenn Elg, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court.
Obviously, it was the tiger. Obviously, the killer is Furio. No one else could have done it.
What? Well, witness?
Yeah, now that's cute. You think you could pin this on the tiger? Maybe you still understand. The tiger is king of the jungle.
So I dare you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts. Technically, it's the lion.
You can't threaten me, Mr. Tiger. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright?
Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that.
Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. Huh. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Kudo. Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see just the victim. Oh no, no, no.
The serving girl bought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there.
Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains he saw the accused had put the poison into the coffee. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee.
Objection!
Very impressive, Mr. Godot, waiting for my absence to launch your attack.
Huh. Found your pet at last, right?
It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Elk, and the quote-unquote waitress from behind.
That's your point, Mr. Wright?
So I think the conclusion is obvious. If this quote-unquote victim was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show.
What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well?
Yes, they're trying to land a double kill. Lol, they've been sus from the get-go. The defendant, Ms. Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her.
Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed?
Viola and the tiger are in cahoots with one another.
Who's this woman?
Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tender Lender.
Who's making a big mistake? Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You'd better be going home in an armored truck tonight, if you know what I mean.
Stop shaking, Nick.
Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Ms. Bird, has stated the following.
Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had kind of a cackling laugh.
Thank you for the epic bomber, Leon. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The quote-unquote second man at the victim's table who nobody but Ms. Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour ago after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furio, the only person who could have committed the crime, is use.
Witness, what have you got to say?
That's cute.
Sorry?
You's alright. I could do with a guy like you around.
What do you mean?
Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go.
Something to think about?
You's got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But you's missed out one real important thing.
But that can't be.
I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you's here.
What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tiger? Huh. What a troublemaker.
Troublemaker?
Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Turnabout between yourself and the victim?
motive. Well, kind of a motive, but we need one more piece of evidence.
Yeah, I loaned Elk cash, about 100K. That day, we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won $500,000. He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she had done, everything would have been over.
Now, I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Elk was 50K.
Yeah.
$50,000.
Well, you's got the VIG to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know.
That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal.
And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question.
Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got the $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. If I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case.
His motive? He has to have one, but what is it?
So the tiger was meeting Glenn to get his money back. If Mr. Elk had just given him a lottery ticket, that would have been the end of it.
Yeah, so what's the tiger's motive? This is the big one. If I don't manage to undermine this testimony, it's all over for us. Why would he have to poison Mr. Elk? And why did he loan him the money in the first place when he knew he couldn't repay him? This is the big moment. This is the major climax. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Hold it!
The waitress, you mean?
The girl with the glass in the defendant's chair, who else could I mean? If she hadn't gone the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with.
Maybe I should push a little on this. What do you mean things would have been over and done with?
Are you so there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my 100K back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way.
As far as I could tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tiger had no motive for killing the victim.
The tiger's motive, huh? This has to be the testimony. This has to be the testimony in which, Wait, hold on a second, hold on. This has to be what we can present an evidence for. No other reason to kill the dude? There is another reason. He wasn't just after the 100K. He needed money to actually pay back some medical papers.
Objection!
There we go. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. So you just intended to get back the 100K Mr. Elg owned you, correct?
I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right.
Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, 100K wasn't enough to cover it, was it? About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery.
Where did you get all this info?
These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. Is that with or with? Oh, I'm sure that was without insurance. Payment for these expenses were due in December of last year and was paid in full.
$1 million? Preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs. No one pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue.
But Mr. Tiger had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it.
Order! You say his life depended on Mr. Wright?
Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini.
Did you say Cadaverini?
Yeah, we said that before, didn't you? Didn't you listen? Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underground activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid quote-unquote compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the 1 million, the 1 milli Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decide to sacrifice Glen Elk's life to pay your debt. How dirty of you.
Order! What do you say to that, witness?
Objection!
It's a nice little fairy tale trite, but even if the witness did need $1 million, that doesn't tie him to Mr. Elk's murder. Mr. Elk only owed him $100K, and he had no hope of repaying it anyway.
Yeah, that guy wasn't worth my spit.
Objection!
I don't think so. In fact, the opposite is true.
The opposite.
Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glen Elk had no way to repay the money is crucial.
What?
Do you know where you're going with this, Nick?
You've got to think outside the box, Maya.
Outside the box?
It's very straightforward. Mr. Tiger wasn't after the 100K at all.
It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright.
Let's save first before we screw up. Okay. It's all coming together. It's all coming together.
Would you care to share with us what exactly was Mr. Tiger after?
This? Mr. Elk was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elk put up in order to borrow the money.
Care to explain how skill can be used as a collateral to secure a loan, trite?
He had the skill to create a computer virus, and so he did. A virus known as MC Bomber.
A computer virus? What does one of those do?
A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer.
A computer? Does one of those do?
I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. I can see that. Even in cryptocurrency, it would be very, very, very thick money. Oh, when I say thick, of course, here we mean...
Extra thick!
So people on the black market
Let's get this bread!
gotta get that bread. Mr. Tiger, you couldn't have cared less about the 100,000, isn't that right? All you cared about was one thing, the virus. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tiger's sole intention was to get his hands on the CD. Glen Elk had no way of paying back the 100,000, and Mr. Tiger knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tiger would prefer to say never happened, but he can't. And neither can I.
A lottery win?
Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elk won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tiger with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means.
That's crazy.
He murdered Glen Elk and then made his next move. to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tiger posed as Glenn, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of the waitress. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection.
Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it.
But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tiger's plan.
Order! Order! Silence or I will clear the courtroom.
You's put on a good show, Spiky. If you's want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you's gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid created a witness and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that.
I agree.
You do?
Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out.
What, another one, Mr. Wright? Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite?
Oh, shoot. One more piece of evidence? One more piece? Alright, here we go. I feel like it's all or nothing at this point. It's gonna take more than a cup of joe to get this right.
What was this trick you say Mr. Tiger performed to frame the accused? And what's the relevance of that, Trite?
Okay, wait, it was too soon to present that. Okay, the last trick. I'm trying to remember. The last trick to pin it on our client. The paper badge?
What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation.
Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tiger, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago in this very court, you posed as me.
What? That's...
The truth.
But... The witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you standing in here, this very court, a mere month ago. The Phoenix Writer put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I'd ever seen.
Objection.
Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man. Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him?
Hey, forget about it, yeah? I would do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Have you no pride, sir?
Objection.
This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Trite, here in court, we deal with people's lives. Mr. Godot is right.
Your Honor?
Speaking for myself, I'm absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing here before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it.
No!
If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tiger are dubious for sure, but not conclusive.
But you've come so far.
You say he impersonated Glen Elk, you say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee.
Yarg!
Heh. Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get mauled, you's got that.
All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt.
Huh. Looks like I won't be needing a refill.
If I just had one more piece of evidence, maybe I could get Maggie off the hook.
This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tiger. Your Honor, sir, wait! Detective.
Detective Gumshoe!
Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this too. What is it, Detective? Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. What? What?
January 8th, 2:48 p.m. and we're back in the lobby?
Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab.
The results?
About the prince, pal, from this medicine bottle.
Ooh, so do you know who the prince belongs to now?
Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know.
So tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it.
You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. Your Furio Tiger's paw prints, all right.
That's great. We've got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick.
I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now.
Huh? What? Why not?
What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glen Elk's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now.
I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I've never of any use.
Hey, don't be so hard on yourself.
Easy for people to say.
This is our last chance to help Maggie. I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal.
Detective Gumshoe? Maggie! You've been working on something for me?
Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair now.
Detective Gumshoe, wait!
He's gone.
Is there anything we can do now, Nick?
I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. January 8th, 3:04 p.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 4.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
I granted you a recess so you can prepare this quote-unquote decisive evidence you've discovered.
Yes.
Don't keep us all in suspense, Stride. Show us.
This is really not the time to present it now.
Naturally, we can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we?
Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste.
How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before, but you lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion.
No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright.
I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. But maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit.
Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright.
This is the defense's final piece of evidence.
Isn't that the victims?
Your Honor, naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tiger.
What?
But Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information?
Everyone here knows what this bottle contains, except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark.
My prints are on that pansy-looking bottle. Is that what you was gonna say? Well, what the hell's in it anyway?
A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tiger, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains potassium cyanide. This bottle contains potassium cyanide.
Potassium cyanide?
The poison used to murder Mr. Elk, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tiger, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that?
You'd make a good clown, you know that.
What?
You ain't never gonna get this to stick. You's just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger?
A bluff?
I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it.
No. This is the bottle we found traces of the poison in.
Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. The cyanide bottle was brown, it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it.
I think this moment in Ace Attorney history deserves an absolute.
Bruh.
I'm just gonna let that sink in and get this Stream Raiders battle going first before we actually continue. I think we all know what's gonna happen next, but oh, I didn't make myself appear again. That guy basically screwed himself over. He fell for the trap. That was just perfect. That was really perfect to wrap things up with. Oh my god. And 28 units on the battlefield too. Thank you guys. Okay. We got one musketeer over here. We got Maffy, Leon, Shy Guy, Jim Bob, and Keone. Welcome, Keone. Welcome. Thank you for coming around towards the end of our trial of the third case now. Things I could say have been flowing mostly smoothly for the first part. Alright, I'm going to take this opportunity to rehydrate a little bit more and wrap up this case, and we'll be done with 3 cases in the third Ace Attorney game. Okay, GG. We got Leon with the most kills at 18 kills and 2 assists. Kiba with, well, tying with 2 assists with Kiba and me. Mafia has landed 12 kills. Kiba has landed 6 kills. I've landed 2 kills. Jim Bob landed 3. Bran landed 4 for their sacrifice. Shy Guy landed 1 kill and 1 assist. And Kione has landed 1 assist. I think just for coming in, we'll give this one to Kione as well. I feel like there's like a reoccurring thing of getting paladins tonight. Well, let's go right over to the desecrated ground now. We still need to place 2 paladins. We got some time though. We could place 2 paladins. All right. So the desecrated ground. This should be an easy one. This should be easy peasy lemon squeezy, I would hope.
Hi, how are you?
Used to play Paladin once in a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Feels like Paladins are really, really favorited archetype in fantasy nowadays. A favorited class archetype. Anywho, let's go ahead and check everybody else's maps and see how they're doing, and then we could go ahead and wrap up this case once and for all. And I could just throw on the confetti because, oh, Curry's done already. So let's swap to a different captain here. Okay, anyways. So, to get everybody caught up, we basically presented a fake evidence to throw this guy off, and he completely fell for it. He's laughing in our face saying that, oh, this bottle does not contain the poison. The bottle with the poison actually looks like this. But here's the thing, if he's trying to prove himself that he's not the killer, how does he know what the bottle of poison looks like? I don't really need to laugh more than these few chuckles. We got him. We got him, folks. Thank you, Battlehorn. Got him. At last.
But what? Why's everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle.
Is this the bottle you're referring to?
Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go.
You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said, you idiot?
What I said? What did I just say?
You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison.
Yous don't know who you's messing with. I'm the Tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. Yous think I'm gonna let some jumped up suit get the better of me?
Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of them all. I'm just gonna let this play.
What's going on?
This deserves an original sound clip we don't have on the channel yet. Where's the sound effect?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We definitely need to add that in the soundboard.
What's going on?
Looks like a blackout, sir.
Well done, trite. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While late, I put milk in it. While we watch the police restrain your prey. Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go.
The judge be spinning bars now.
Now then, how are things going, Mr. Tiger, Mr. Godot? He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glen Elg, Your Honor. Fortunately for us, he managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney.
Yes, she was.
And in the absence of a genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue.
Thank you for the epic punk paladin, Leon.
Furial Tiger's a truly frightening criminal. A truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there.
Godot.
Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant Maggie Bird
Not guilty.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
Oh my god. It took me some connecting the dots. It took me some brain juice to actually put the pieces together. But the false victim thing? Man, I almost did not think of that. January 8th, 4:10 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1.
Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, kind sir. Yay, congrats, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. But now I feel like I can forgive him.
Hey, that wasn't me. That was the tiger.
Look, Nick. In the doorway.
Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal.
Wait, chotomate.
Detective Gumshoe?
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, Maggie.
Thanks.
I knew you were innocent all along.
Why didn't you say that in your testimony then?
Huh? Oh, well, I was... Well, I guess I'll be heading off then. See you around.
Eat up, detective. He just ran off.
Maggie, why are you being so hard at him? He busted his nut for you. He busted his butt for you.
I definitely almost slipped there and say he busted a I mean, technically speaking. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles.
Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him.
Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick?
Yeah, Maya is right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie? You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this.
I want to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up.
He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts.
He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it.
I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. Hey, here's that lunchbox that he made a second dose of. Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom.
That's...
A present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love.
He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe? I actually really like weenies. You know? Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know.
Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it?
Is it okay if I eat this now? So, how's it, Maggie? It's really good.
Oh my god, Maya's face. That was a really wholesome face. So the case of phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. With a finished lunchbox. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is just about to start. Hey, thank you for the epic barbarian, Neem Expert. Recipe for Turnabout. The end. Oof. That was quite a long one. Oh, this is probably the origin episode, the progenitor trial to this whole series. Well, let's save the game at this point. Man, what a ride that was. Wait, hold on. What is the artwork for this look like? Could have been a little bit better, but... Oh man, what a ride for that one. What a ride that trial was. Unflippin' believable. Well, I'm glad we got it over with, which means we're just 2 cases away from finishing the original trilogy. But even though this next case I know is going to be a short and sweet one, it's going to be a very crucial one as well. And so will the last case, which will probably be one of the longest cases in the entire trilogy in general. I'm glad I'm having this journey with you guys. I'm glad I'm having my first Ace Attorney adventure with you guys. Even though it was a journey that it could have taken long ago. Long time ago, when little Tendo was a wee little tyke starting out with their OG Nintendo DS. Anywho, before we end for the evening, it's about high time we get some good old-fashioned Sunday grinding going. Alright, so let me go ahead and boot up my game real quick.